Greetings, wrestling fans, and welcome to a detailed breakdown of one of the most intense and electrifying moments in recent WWE history. The atmosphere backstage and inside the arena was absolutely charged with tension, anticipation, and an air of unpredictability as Brock Lesnar, accompanied by his longtime advocate and strategist Paul Heyman, made their presence felt in a way that sent shockwaves throughout the WWE Universe. From the very moment the cameras captured Brock Lesnar's imposing figure walking down the ramp, the energy in the arena shifted dramatically. Lesnar, often described as the Beast incarnate, is a figure whose reputation precedes him in every sense. Known for his unmatched physical prowess, calculated aggression, and a seemingly unending list of high-profile victories, Lesnar carries with him a legacy of fear, respect, and awe. And when Paul Heyman is by his side, that legacy is amplified exponentially. Heyman, the mastermind behind many of WWE's greatest strategies and angles, has always had a unique ability to manipulate the narrative in ways that amplify the impact of every action taken by the wrestlers he represents. The combination of Lesnar's raw power and Heyman's intellect creates a formula that is both terrifying and captivating for fans and superstars alike. The story that unfolded on this particular episode of WWE Raw revolved around a confrontation that had been simmering for weeks, the tension between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, the head of the table and the so-called tribal chief, has carved his own path as a dominant force in WWE, holding the Universal Championship with a combination of charisma, cunning, and sheer wrestling ability. Reigns' persona, coupled with the backing of the formidable Usos as part of his bloodline, has made him seemingly invincible and nearly untouchable in the eyes of the WWE Universe. However, the arrival of Lesnar and Heyman disrupted that narrative, casting a shadow over Reigns' reign and challenging the perception of his invincibility. The tension that had been building backstage, in promos, and in previous segments finally came to a boiling point as Lesnar and Heyman unleashed a message that was both literal and symbolic. Their presence alone communicated a threat, a warning, and an assertion that nothing in WWE is permanent, no reign is guaranteed, and no champion is untouchable. Backstage, the encounter between Lesnar, Heyman, and Reigns was nothing short of cinematic. WWE often thrives on the drama that unfolds behind the scenes as much as it does on the in-ring action, and this particular segment was a masterclass in tension, psychology, and storytelling. Lesnar's demeanor was calm, yet menacing, his eyes reflecting a predatory focus that has made him one of the most feared athletes in professional wrestling history. Heyman, ever the eloquent and strategic mouthpiece, delivered his lines with precision, emphasizing the inevitability of Lesnar's assault and the futility of Reigns' attempts to maintain dominance. The dialogue was sharp, loaded with innuendo and veiled threats, each word chosen to maximize fear and anticipation. Reigns, despite his confidence and the aura of supremacy that he cultivates, was visibly affected by the confrontation. The way he reacted, the subtle shifts in body language, and the tension that radiated from his interactions with Lesnar and Heyman all served to heighten the drama and underscore the reality that the tribal chief was facing a challenge unlike any he had encountered before. The narrative was further enriched by the historical context of Lesnar and Heyman's interactions with Reigns. This is not the first time these titans have collided, and the WWE Universe is well aware of their storied past. Lesnar's previous victories over Reigns, their battles for the championship, and the personal animosity that has developed over the years all contributed to the weight of this confrontation. Every stare-down, every verbal exchange carried the weight of history, making the audience acutely aware that the stakes were higher than ever. Heyman's role in this scenario cannot be understated. His ability to manipulate not only the narrative, but also the emotions of the audience adds layers to the storyline that go beyond the physicality in the ring. He understands the psychology of both superstars and fans, crafting moments that resonate on multiple levels and leaving a lasting impression that extends beyond the immediate segment. Once the confrontation shifted from backstage to the in-ring setting, the intensity skyrocketed. Lesnar's physicality, already intimidating, was on full display as he showcased the sheer force that has made him a legendary figure in WWE. Every movement, every gesture was amplified by the presence of Heyman, whose commentary and strategic insight provided a perfect foil to Lesnar's brute strength. The dynamics of the segment allowed fans to witness a clash of personalities and abilities, a battle between Reigns' calculated dominance and Lesnar's raw, unbridled aggression. The crowd, fully invested in the unfolding drama, reacted with a mixture of awe, excitement, and nervous anticipation, fully aware that any moment could explode into chaos. An important element of this confrontation was the way WWE built suspense and uncertainty. Unlike predictable segments where the outcome can be easily inferred, this particular storyline was layered with ambiguity, making every gesture, word, and glance carry significant weight. The unpredictability of Lesnar's actions, combined with Heyman's strategic mind, created a sense of impending danger that kept both the audience and Reigns on edge. The psychological aspect of the segment was as crucial as the physical display, highlighting WWE's ability to craft narratives that engage viewers on multiple levels. Fans were not only witnessing a potential physical showdown but also a battle of wits, power, and influence, which is a hallmark of the most compelling wrestling storylines. Another remarkable aspect of the segment was how it highlighted the complex relationships and alliances in WWE. Roman Reigns, while formidable on his own, relies heavily on his bloodline, the Usos and other allies, to maintain his dominance. Lesnar, however, operates largely independently, relying on his own strength and the cunning of Heyman. This contrast between reliance on a faction and individual dominance adds layers to the conflict, creating a rich narrative tapestry that explores themes of loyalty, strategy, and the nature of power. The presence of Heyman as a strategic advisor to Lesnar further complicates the equation, as his interventions and manipulations often tip the scales in Lesnar's favor, making every encounter unpredictable and high stakes. Throughout the segment, WWE also showcased the meticulous attention to detail in production, camera work, and timing. The angles chosen, the way the camera lingered on Lesnar's menacing expressions, the cuts to Reigns' reactions, and the pacing of the dialogue all contributed to an immersive viewing experience. WWE understands the importance of crafting moments that resonate visually and emotionally, and this confrontation was a prime example of that philosophy in action. Every detail, from the lighting to the sound cues, was designed to maximize the impact of Lesnar and Heyman's message and to leave the audience on the edge of their seats, fully aware that the story was far from over. One of the most compelling aspects of this storyline is the way it explores the psychological warfare that is central.